She had arranged to drive Shannon. The drama began shortly after the Frederick Police Department received a call from Nicole Atkinson, the best friend of Shannon Watts. She had arranged to drive Shannon into town that same day for a pregnancy checkup, but there was no answer when she knocked at the door, nor any response to her text messages or phone calls. After noticing her shoes were still at the front door, she became concerned and called 911.
Nicole?
Yes.
Okay. What's going on?
So my friend, we were out of town for a business trip this weekend.
Right.
And I dropped her off at 2 o'clock this morning. She's 15 weeks pregnant. She wasn't feeling well, and she had a doctor's appointment this morning at 9, and I told her to let me know if she needed me to take her. She's got 2 little girls. I've called, I've texted. Her car's in the garage. Her shoes she wears every single day are right at the front door.
How you doing? You seen your neighbors today? No? Okay. What's Chris's phone number?
Chris's phone number is...
Hey, Chris, Officer Coonrod for the police department. Pretty good. So, do you have any idea where your wife is? Right. What my concern is her car's here. They're saying she's diabetic. I don't want her... She's upstairs and can't respond. Okay. About how far out are you? Okay. All right. He said like 5 minutes.
It's not a sure sign of guilty conduct, yet the fact that Chris made the officer wait for his return would have most likely alerted some minor suspicion. In normal circumstances, a husband receiving a call from the police saying they were concerned about the safety of their pregnant wife and children, in most cases, would have given them permission to immediately kick the door down. It's a truly somber awareness to know that the man stepping out of the car had only a very short time ago dumped his infant daughter's bodies into an oil tank and buried his pregnant wife in a shallow grave.
Scott, how you doing? How's it going? So this is the only vehicle she would have?
Only one that,
She would drive? Okay.
The familiar routine for anyone checking for someone's presence inside a house, whether it be an emergency or otherwise, is to immediately call out to them for instantaneous reassurance. Chris remains silent, but instead feels the need to examine his wife's car before subtly sneaking through the internal garage door. He then disappears for 1 minute and 7 seconds before letting the neighbors and police officer inside. Only Chris will know what he carried out during that time period, but it's safe to assume that his curious behavior was not going unnoticed, made evident by the unsettled gaze of Nicole as he opens the door.
Mind if I come in, Chris?
There were multiple key moments captured from inside the house, which may not have been noticed immediately by the officer, but would have no doubt been gathered by forensics upon further investigation. The most overt peculiarity was Chris's interaction with his phone. The guise of his thumb movement would have given the impression he was texting someone, which would have seemed very peculiar, as the normal response would be to frantically call people rather than text given the circumstances. Hindsight gives us a clearer picture of Chris's introversion, which is that he was most likely using his phone to avoid eye contact and progressive dialogue with the officer.
What time do you leave today?
what time to leave there?
No, here.
Usually between 5:30 and 6.
All right. And was Shannon here then?
Yes. Yeah, she's still in bed.
Does she usually watch the kids, or do you have daycare watch them?
She usually watches the kids at high school.
Okay. You guys have any kind of issues, marital issues, or?
We're separated.
You are? And how's that going?
It's going
Civil for the most part, or?
Yeah, huh?
Additionally, we are presented with the subtle cues of Chris's forethought cover story, being that his wife simply ran off with the kids after a breakdown in the marriage.
All the girls' blankies are gone. Their blankie they sleep with, they don't leave anywhere without them.
Good.
The rest of Chris's conduct could be analyzed and dissected in various ways, and it would be easy to pick at certain oddities in body language and link them with signs of guilt. Yet, without the hindsight we have now, his behavior could just as easily be linked with an innocent man who is understandably concerned and frantic over the disappearance of his family. His very conservant neighbor, however, had the perceptual advantage of knowing Chris on a semi-personal level, and could analyze his kinesics in a far more accurate manner than the police officer.
You just want to go talk to him? I'm going to get his info real quick. Right.
To be completely honest with you, my wife and I were kind of wondering when she was on vacation if something happened, because I've heard them full out screaming at each other at the top of their lungs, and he gets crazy.
Really? And that's pretty recently?
Yeah. He doesn't look worried. He looks like he's trying to cover his tracks. He's normally quiet and what's up, dude? He's over here telling you 3 times what he took out, what he did, what he did, what he did. He's very... He never talks. So the fact that he's over here blabbing his mouth makes me kind of suspicious.
This was just after the moment he had shown both Chris and the officer his surveillance footage of that same morning, capturing only Chris leaving the house after loading multiple unidentified things into his truck.
Yeah, we can pick up cars coming this way. I get anything coming this way and making a turn. So, and usually at night I pick up the car pulling a U-turn. So unless they pulled right here, but I would have caught her walking out.
Although not fully incriminating, as Shannon and the kids could have left through the back entrance, this was an extremely detrimental piece of evidence, and would have no doubt been extolled by forensics and made Chris an immediate prime suspect. The following day, Chris, for some bizarre reason, agreed to be interviewed by 2 separate news stations, where he came across as extremely unimpassioned and detached from the alarming nature of the situation.
Like when I got home yesterday, it was like a ghost town. Like she wasn't here, kids weren't here. I have no idea like where they went. Right now it's, you got K9 units, the sheriff's department. Everybody's like, they're doing their best right now to figure out like if they can get a scent. If she wasn't here, like where did she go? Like once I got here, it was like, all right, who can I call? I called her 3 times, texted her about 3 times just to say, you know, what's going on? Like if she's vanished, like I want her back so bad. I want those kids back so bad. Right now, I don't even want to just like throw anything out there. Like I hope that she's somewhere safe right now and with the kids. Last night, I wanted that knock on the door. I wanted to see that. I wanted to see those kids running, just barrel rush me and just give me a hug and knock me on the ground. That's why last night was just horrible. I couldn't do it. I'm hoping that somebody sees something or somebody knows something and comes forward. Shanann, Bella, Celeste, if you're out there, just come back. Like if somebody has her, just please bring her back. I need to see everybody. I need to see everybody again. This house is not complete without anybody here. Please bring her back.
This could have been construed as shock trauma, where a person will turn numb and retreat into themselves as a means of escape. Yet the viewers watching this live from home were probably thinking what we as the retrospective audience already know. He was called in for questioning 4 hours later.
Alright, let's do this. Somebody saw something. Somebody knows where these kids are. And I keep saying kids, I'm sorry, the kids in your work. I know you're going through a lot, so I'm not going to keep you here all night. Tell me exactly what you remember, and I'll take notes about where we can go.
So this 1:48 a.m.
Let me switch chairs. Because when they come knocking, when they come knocking, I got to use that key.
One of the oldest and most commonly used techniques is for the interrogator to sit between the door and the suspect. This is for the purpose of heightening the feelings of isolation and dependence. It's an indirect subliminal message, letting Chris know that the only way out of that room is through the detective. It's an excellent tool for stripping away confidence, thus increasing the telling signs and body language when information is fabricated.
Learned something.
4 a.m. That's when my alarm goes off for work, and I'm seeing just get dressed, brush my teeth, everything I do upstairs.
Okay.
About 4:15, that's when I get back, slide right into bed next to her, and start having a conversation with her about having the house up for sale and talking about it, like actually proceeding with the separation.
Okay.
And obviously it gets pretty emotional, like we're talking about, you know, like we felt the disconnection was there, like falling out of love, and trying to stay together, maybe just for the kids' sake, but we're realizing that doing like our homework, it's not, most of the time that's not going to work.
Yeah.
So that's when I got home, I opened the garage door and we went inside the house and looked everywhere. Shanann, Bella, and Celeste, nowhere to be found. Shanann's wedding ring's on her nightstand, her phone's still on the couch, her purse is still there, the medicine for the kids is still there, the car seat's still there, and there's no sign of them anywhere.
Okay.
And then you replace it when it goes to bed at 10 p.m. doesn't sleep.
I was just hoping that, I mean, left all the lights on in the house, I was hoping that I'd get a knock on the door. But
Yeah,
nothing,
back.
Yeah, but nothing happened.
What do you think happened?
At first, I really thought maybe she was just at somebody's house, just decompressing.
Exploring our scene.
Yeah. But after today, like with the onslaught of all the cars, I mean all the police cars, all the news, all the K9 units, it's making me lean the other direction about someone took her.
Okay.
But there's this, if someone took her, it would have to have been someone she knew. Because there's no sign of anything like being disturbed, broken.
Mm-hmm.
But like that's the way I'm leaning now. At first I thought she was
that's a very long detail.
I mean, I thought she was safe, even though everything in the house was left
I thought
there.
he was gonna stop.
But now it's just, after the day with the news crews and everything, it feels more the other direction, and it's freaking me out.
It's gonna be Shannon's friends who are left in the computer history.
On that night, I woke up early that morning, I told her, like, the disconnection, it's there, like, it's not going away. Like, the connection we had in the beginning, it's not there anymore. It's like, I don't feel like the love we have is there anymore.
Okay.
And it's just like, I don't feel like, I mean, if we want to stay together for the kids, I'm not sure if that's going to work. Like, bringing
That's
another,
what you told her?
yes.
Okay.
Like, having another baby, bringing us in this relationship, do you think this is going to work with us being together? Or separation, I think, is going to be the best possible route for us. And that's when, like, all the crying and everything proceeded. And it was very hard just to talk about that. But I needed to do it face to face.
Okay.
And I needed to see her face, like, while I did it. I couldn't text, phone, whatever. I needed to be face to face and be able to see her and know that she was going to be at least reciprocating back to me.
Oh, what did she say?
She said that it was, she wanted to kind of work on it, but if that's the way I was feeling, then she respects that.
Okay. 1 p.m. I'm now on my way home to check on my family. Is that just because you're worried based on the conversation with Nicole? Had the police contact you by then?
No.
Okay. So you have, right? Sorry, go ahead.
But Nicole said she was probably going to call the cops.
Okay. All right. Now, so it sounds like Nicole's pretty worried. More worried than you.
Well, so once she couldn't get anything out of her and nothing was going on in the house, I was like, all right, I gotta go home.
The sharp and sudden change of angle from baseline questioning to direct confrontation would normally make an innocent person refute or at least challenge the statement. There would also be a brief pause, as they would need time to process the allegation due to its perplexity. A guilty individual would already be in a defensive state of mind and would normally respond in a hastily modus. Instead of refuting the remark, they would accept it, but try and explain its actuality in a defensive manner.
But it sounds like Nicole was more worried.
Yeah, because like most of if she doesn't text me, like I understand that, like sometimes that happens.
Okay.
But for her not to get back to her direct sales group, that was very unorthodox.
Okay. So then they're
Yeah, I
at
feel
home.
like I'm being trained.
Police officers there. Then walk me through that.
So as we go through the house, we're all
You immediately go through the house?
Oh, like I open the garage door and I just go into the house. I'm looking, like I just go in the garage door and I'm looking.
Is the police officer saying, hey, let me talk to you for a minute?
No.
No, okay.
No.
What's the vibe like?
I go up there, shake his hand, and I'm like opening the garage door at the same time.
Okay.
And then I go through, and then they're waiting at the front door. I go in, open that up, and then they come in.
Oh, so they didn't go in the garage door with you? Okay.
Well, they went in the garage. They didn't come in the way I did.
All right. So then everybody goes in.
Shut the door behind him.
I think that was it.
Why?
And at 4 o'clock, that's when because the officer went over to the neighbor's house to see if he saw anything, and
Whose idea was that?
I think it was the officer. He just went over there. And then that's when the neighbor called him back over to show him he had some stuff from the other night.
Okay.
Just show him like whatever he had that put motion on it.
Okay. 4 p.m. Police check neighbor security footage and question them as well. Okay. Have we talked about that? Is that where we're okay?
That's where we're at.
Anything else about that?
No, I mean, it just shows Nicole dropping her off, but her not walking up, and it shows me loading my truck up about the time I told you I left.
I can't even see him glancing.
Can we talk about something kind of hard
This
enough?
is so bad.
So when I work investigations like this, I have to keep an open mind on everything. Okay. And part of keeping an open mind is listening to you talk about your wife and your marriage, and the day she goes missing is the day that you guys have marital discord. Okay. So you can understand what I'm thinking about you.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Makes me sick to my stomach.
Plurium interrogationum. Huh? Implication in the form of a question. Plurium interrogationum. Okay. You know, sometimes I feel like chat fucking does that to me. Like they say something rude, and like they're like implying it. Next time I'd be like, "Are you using plurium interrogationum on me right now?"
I know, like I've talked to a few of my friends. It's like, you know, this does not look good on you. I'm like, I know. It's like
And sometimes
people
I was
that
like,
if
it's
people
just
knew
a
that we were having marital
question.
issues.
No.
They're gonna
You're
look at me.
using plurium
Especially the way everything looks.
interrogationum on me.
It honestly just makes me sick to my stomach because
Bitch.
this is something that I would never do. Ever. I know, like, you have to look at every vantage point. This is something I would never do to my kids or my wife. At all.
This is what is known as the pause technique. After the suspect answers a question, the interrogator will remain silent while maintaining eye contact. This physical demeanor gives off the subtle cue that he expects more information to be divulged and may already know more than the suspect realizes.
This works on me. The pause technique
I'm
works
not sure,
on
like,
me.
what I could do, like, to make people believe that, because if they knew we were having marital discord, they would automatically believe me. But there's no, I would harm anybody in my family.
Oh, suck my dick, bitch. Vorpal Brush, thank you for the sub. Welcome. Thank you.
I know we were having marital discord, and we had that conversation that morning, and then she goes, we have no idea where she is, or the kids.
It just keeps talking.
I promise you that I had nothing to do with any of that.
Are you telling me the truth?
I'm sorry.
Why should I believe you?
A truthful individual will normally respond to this question with a question, such as, "Why are you asking me that?" or "What's going on here?" They will often protest the aggressive nature of the inquisition, or give a short and forceful response.
Because I'm a very trustworthy person, and the people that do know me, They know how I'm a calm person. I am not an argumentative person. I am a person who is never going to be abusive or physical in any kind of relationship.
Sorry, I'm just thinking of
I will never
Among Us
harm my
a
kids.
lot.
I will never harm my wife. I mean, you can talk. I mean, you can talk to any of my friends, any of her friends. They know me. They know I'm a low-key guy that's quiet. I'm not about confrontation. I'm not about anything that elevates to that level. I mean, like if someone like yells at me, screams at me, I just take it and I just try to get it by the wayside and get it back to where it's cool. Like, just a cool conversation to where like none of that gets to that height. Because I am not that person.
Wow.
I've never been that person.
Oh, still going. Oh, a minute. Hey.
Okay. Will you take a pony back?
Chocolate. Thank you for the 27 months. Welcome back. Thank you.
Let's take a
Welcome
little
back
break.
to Tater Army when you're happy. I'm
I'm gonna
happy.
come back in here, because I have a lot more questions for you.
Ooh.
How you feeling?
Look at that picture. Find him. Got it. Celeste, she rampage. She's always the one that's gung-ho. She's always the one that's just like, she's off. She's either go or sleep. She's always one growling. She's always been, she's a tiger. Bella, she's the calm, the mothering one. She's the one that's always,
It's so...
you okay? You okay? You fine? Okay. She's just a sweetest little girl. She's the one that
Knowing he
favors me
killed
more.
them
Celeste
and
is the
hearing
one that
him like
favors me
talk
more.
about them like this, it's so disturbing. Like fucked up.
I remember they wore that dress. She just wore that dress not too long ago. It's not a button in the back of it, so I could get her pajamas on. She goes, no, Daddy, I got button. I'm not in love with those spaghetti strap dresses. She likes long dresses. She was a girly girl.
Yeah, you've watched this before. I didn't want to watch because you know I'm gonna fucking watch the rest of this. V, thank you for the 63 months. Welcome back to Tit Army. When you're happy, I'm happy. Thank you. Sorry, chat. I gotta pause and give a shout out. Someone redeemed a shout out. Shout out to M. Coltrati. I need to charge it soon. Shout out to you. Thank you so much for watching the stream and having so many freaking points. Thank you. All right, moving on.
I'm gonna find him, right? I need your help. When we find the guy who took him, what do you think we should do?
This is what is known as a behavior-provoking question. An innocent person will usually give what is known as a draconian response. They will immediately respond with the harshest sentence possible
is
for the
it
crime they are falsely
bad?
being accused of committing. A deceptive individual will often give an equivocating response. This means that they will fragmentize
Draconian
and divert
reminds
from
me of
question to a
Minecraft.
certain degree, as a
Oh,
means to
Minecraft.
avoid responding to the query in its
I'm a
entirety.
They're
degenerate.
gonna come home safe, correct? When you find the guy.
When we find the guy, they're gonna come home.
Life in prison would be that's what I would think with 2 kids that are involved.
What if he hurt them?
I'm not sure if like that penalty is even used. Is it used in Colorado? I'm not even sure what is the death penalty.
Okay.
I mean, like if these kids are not alive, like there's nothing you could do to cope with that, to make me cope with that. If those kids are not okay.
Okay. Can we keep talking about some complicated things?
Sure.
Some things that are gonna make you uncomfortable?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. You've done very good in talking to me about this really hard conversation you guys had. Okay. Very good. That's sometimes hard. And I understand why sometimes someone in your position says,
motherfucker!
doesn't want to tell me about that. Because please
Okay. All right. Let's do this. We're like...
do things that come to your mind.
Okay, hold on. Sorry. I don't know where I
Everything,
was.
like you make kids, they're
Nope.
talked. Like usually,
Nope.
I need them. I want them just to run through that front door and just
Okay,
grab me,
that looks
or just barrel, just tackle me, knock me to the floor, bust my head. I don't care. The amount of love I have for my family is exponential, and it's never gonna die. And I want them back.
Okay.
I have to have them back.
My response was just, shut up, chat.
When you walk out of this room, there's nothing I can say to a room full of police officers that's going to convince them that you will have nothing to do with this.
Squirtle Power, thanks for the 3 months. Welcome back to Tato Army. When you're happy, I'm happy. Thank you.
Who woke his wife up at a ridiculous hour because he was so guilty about something that he had to get it off his chest and say, I don't love you anymore, I'm leaving you. That didn't go well. Okay, so what happened?
She told me she wanted me to wake her up before I left. That's why I didn't just wake her up, like, just to tell her this. Like, I woke her up. That's what she wanted to do, and we talked. Like, usually at 4 a.m. I wake up, I go down and work out. This day, I wanted to talk to her about this. I love these girls. I love these girls so much. And this picture right here, Celeste and Bella, those are my life. I helped make those kids. There's nothing in my life that means more to me than these kids. Nothing. Kids, that's your life. That's your lifeline. That's everything. Like, you make kids, they come first before anything. Kids, spouse, family. That's what it's always been.
I would call them my babies. In hindsight, I don't
Nothing you told me
know.
tonight makes sense.
But to be fair,
Nothing you told me tonight feels like the truth.
ooh, the detective knows.
Can we start over? Sure. Tonight's been pretty intense, I can imagine. How are you doing?
I've slept like 2 hours last night, so I'm like running on empty right now. But
Yeah, I can see it. So why don't I do this? I'm sure you don't mind if we take a break for the night. I'm sure that you are feeling some of the pressure from me. Okay? I'm going to commit to you that we're not going to stop working until we find them.
okay.
Okay? And I want to commit to you that there is going to come a time when you're going to feel this pressure from other people. I'm not the only one who thinks that there's a possibility you have something to do with this.
Like another FBI agent, like pressure, or like just like
Everyone.
Okay.
Everyone, Chris.
okay.
The interrogator is clearly receptive to Chris's anxiety and endeavors to amplify this emotion before ending the interview. He wants to inflate Chris's apprehension as much as possible for the looming polygraph test that approaches the following day.
Tonight when you go home, one of two things is going to happen. You're going to pass out because you're so tired. Okay? And that's probably not going to be what happens. Your head's going to go racing. Okay? So tonight when you lay down and your head starts racing, there's going to be things that come to your mind. Okay? This always happens. Always. It's very natural. You're going to say, I wonder why he asked me that. Okay? You're going to say, screw him, how dare he accuse me. Okay? You're going to say, I wonder if they thought of this. Okay? And then you're going to say, I probably should have told him something, or this, or that. Okay? Those are the most common things. When those thoughts come to your head, I want you to call me. And those are beautiful kids.
He said, if you think those and you call me, you guilty. Wow.
It's just,
Sneaky, sneaky.
I'm sorry too. But
Those kids have a good dad.
The following discourse from the officer could be construed as the reframing technique, where an interrogator will try and shift the suspect's view of themselves from negative to positive, as a means to lightening the iniquity of their crimes and increasing the chances of a confession.
Good
However, this is
evening.
more likely what is known as passive accusation, where the interrogator is almost certain of the suspect's guilt and indirectly accuses and in some manner indignifies the suspect. This is made evident by the high praises the officer gives to Chris for extremely trivial deeds.
A lot of dads don't get second pairs of clothes and cook eggs and give them snacks at night. You know, a lot of men, that's women's work, right?
I don't like to get involved.
But you're not that kind of guy. Okay. So can we say that tomorrow at 11 o'clock
Okay.
we can do a polygraph?
Here.
Here. I appreciate you coming in tonight.
Mhm.
All right, give me a few minutes. This is Tammy. Did you meet Tammy yesterday?
No,
okay. I was Tammy.
Hi, Chris. How are you?
So on this,
Yep, I know. I'll explain what that is here in a little bit. But you don't have to worry. It's not on or anything right now. It's not gonna buzz you or anything.
Oh, is this
Obviously,
like
you're
a
probably nervous
lie
about taking today's
detector?
test. Honestly, I would think something is wrong with you if you weren't nervous about coming in here to take a polygraph. Even if people are like, I don't have anything to hide, it is nerve-wracking. When I have taken tons of polygraphs, obviously in my training, I went to 10 weeks for training. I've been a polygrapher for about 5 years. I went to the best school in the country. So I want you to have confidence in the fact that you had nothing to do with this disappearance. Like, we're going to find that out today, okay? I have the best training that they offer in the United States. We use the most validated testing. That's the way I'm going to ask you the question. So believe me, if you had nothing to do with this, I will be able to show them that today.
This is psychological pressure disguised as reassurance. It's not a routine procedure during the pre-test phase of a polygraph exam.
Gal Donut saying with the tier 3 sub and the 25 months. Welcome back to Kiddo Army. When you're happy, I'm happy. Thank you.
But with a heightened state of anxiety, it becomes considerably more challenging and unlikely. On this occasion, the polygrapher distinctly applies this technique for maximal effect.
There's actually only 2 ways you can fail a polygraph, okay? The first way would be if you fail to follow my instructions. I'm going to give you a lot of instructions today about how to sit still, how to answer questions, things like that. So if you fail to follow those instructions, you will not pass today's test, okay? The second way would be if you choose to lie to me today. You know, if you did have something to do with their disappearance, it would be really stupid for you to come in and take a polygraph today, right? Like, it would be really dumb. Like, you should not be here right now sitting in this chair if you had anything to do with Shanann and the little girl's disappearance, okay?
But yeah, everything flourished from there. Like in 2011, I proposed to her over in Ocean Isle Beach. And she was sitting there crying with a little eviction notice, and she recorded it. It was an amazing day just to see that. And then she left. I was there. Like, she had midwife for this one, so like they actually had me like, "Oh, you can stand here and like, you know, catch her." And like, but Celeste came out like so fast that like I barely had a chance to go like this, and they moved me out of the way because she just like came out.
The polygrapher will also obtain the examinee's version of the facts regarding the specific issues under investigation.
Like, I was just hoping that I would get that knock on the door or a phone call or a text. I mean, her phone, they have her phone. Like, hopefully maybe it's a number I don't know. Hopefully it's like, you know, like a burner phone or some kind of like phone she bought. She could just text me and call me like, "Hey, I'm okay." Something. Or just get a knock on the door and the kids just run in. I miss like the kids like sitting at the dinner table and like having to tell them to eat their dinner, and like I miss them throwing the chicken nuggets at me. Like, I just want to find them. I want them to come home safe. Like, wherever they are, I hope they are safe.
Throwing chicken nuggets.
Really hope they can just come home. It makes me feel like, all right, maybe somebody has her that's not keeping her safe, or something terrible has happened, and that's the nightmare.
And what would that terrible thing be?
Somebody hurt them.
Chris recounts a brief summary of the events and states multiple vague possibilities for his family's disappearance. The polygrapher then starts to elect specific timelines for Chris to give his account on.
You said the next thing you know is her getting into bed with you, is that right?
I felt her get into bed. We didn't say anything because I just kind of felt it.
Okay. Do you know if she was on her phone or like how any of that works?
I don't think she was on her phone.
Was she mad at all?
I mean, crying like she was, crying like I was. I mean, she was upset. But I mean, it comes with that kind of conversation.
In the next moments, you will see another subterfuge of psychological pressure, this time disguised as routine questioning procedure. It's a vastly open-ended question relevant to the crimes under suspicion. These types of questions are common knowledge and easily clarified by the innocent, while the guilty will in most cases have severe difficulty in responding.
I know it's totally awful to think about, but what are ways, because I need to make sure that you know what I'm talking about, what are ways that you can make someone disappear?
I mean, like, if you're talking about like what I've seen like on the movies, or like how people, if you read about other people, I mean, you hire somebody.
Like a hitman?
Yeah, I mean yeah. I'm just being honest.
No, that's what I want. Because I want you to go through all of these scenarios in your head, because I want you to know for sure what I'm talking about when I say that, you know, asking you if you physically caused her disappearance.
Okay, like you hire somebody, or you have somebody you know that would do it. I mean, it's like, it's hard.
And I know this stuff.
It's a hard question to answer.
Is it hard because
I had nothing to do with this disappearance.
If I was innocent, I'd be like this and this.
If you're asking like how I would do it, like
anyone. Like how would anyone cause someone else's disappearance?
I mean, you would. You
could cause someone's disappearance by murdering them.
Yes.
Do you agree with that?
Yes.
So what different physical ways could you cause someone's disappearance through murder? You could stab someone,
right? Stab someone, shoot someone, hit them with a blunt object. What else is there? I mean, use a weapon like gun or a knife. I mean,
is that a disappearance? I thought it was like when I thought disappearance, I thought it was like hiding the body somewhere, and I was thinking like,
someone.
You could strangle someone.
Hang someone. I mean, yeah, you can, all that kind of things. I mean, it's hard to even think about that kind of stuff right now.
Mm-hmm. So you could strangle someone, you could drown someone,
yeah.
You could shock someone to death, you could burn someone. alive? What other ways can you think of?
As far as like lure him into a trap, I guess.
What do you mean? What?
Like, you know, like have somebody waiting like around the corner and like,
Sure.
By car, kidnapped, locked in a room, poisoned, beaten into a coma.
They're in a coma?
Jesus.
Sure.
Oh, I would
So if I
hate
ask
this
you that
question
on the
too.
test, Chris, are you
Innocent
having
or
an issue with
guilty?
that? About you physically causing
going through every
someone's
single one of those?
Yeah, like that would be a way
Okay.
you could cause someone's disappearance.
Okay. No, I can definitely like I can.
I would just
You
be
could
like,
murder them, you could
dude.
kidnap them, you could take them to another country, you could, you know, bury them in your backyard.
Yeah.
You could do a million things
Yeah.
as far as trying to conceal them,
Yeah.
right? So that no one can find them.
Yes.
Because at this point, she's gone. So when I ask you the question on the test, I'm not asking you about guilt. I'm not asking you about, did you make her feel so horrible that she ended up leaving? I'm saying that you were the one that physically caused her to disappear.
Okay.
Either by murder, kidnapping, you know, all of those other things that
Okay.
we went through, okay?
You want me to list? You want me to list all those? Like
No.
one?
You're just
Okay.
going to say no to that question.
Okay.
But when I ask you if you physically caused Shanann's disappearance,
Okay.
your answer should be what?
No.
Right. So do you have any issues with that at all? And
No.
or have any question about what I would mean when I was
No,
would
that's
be asking
total.
that
Like I just like going through all those. That's
Right.
a lot to really think about.
Right.
Like
But
trying to figure out like that was.
I'm going to have you take a bathroom break.
Thank
We've
you.
been in here quite a while. You're going to be taking what's called a directed lie polygraph. So what that means is there are going to be questions on the test where I want you to lie. I know it seems kind of weird, but you're going to know which questions these are, and they're going to be easy to answer. They're all going to start with before 2018.
The directed lie test has 3 types of questions. Known truth questions. These are easy questions to answer, such as, are you sitting down? Or, are you wearing shoes? They serve 2 purposes. The first purpose is to provide a baseline reading for when the subject is telling the truth, and should elicit very little bodily responses. The second purpose is to disconnect the examinee's thought patterns between each question as a means for resetting their cerebration for a more accurate reading. Control questions. These are what the polygrapher just explained to Chris. Whenever she says, before 2018, at the start of a question, Chris will know he is purposely supposed to lie. Each of these questions are deliberately constructed that all answers will be responded with no. Relevant questions. These relate specifically to the crime being investigated, and the examinee will know that they are supposed to respond truthfully. A guilty subject will show a much stronger reaction to the relevant questions than to the control questions, even though they will be lying on both of them. This is due to the immediate threat posed by the relevant questions.
This
So
is
I'm going to say
cool
before
to learn.
2018, did you ever lose your temper
Wait,
with
get
someone
blood
you
thing
cared
the
about?
6
And you're
months.
going to say,
No.
because you're telling us.
Welcome back. I already seen this doc, but hi.
The test is about to begin. Please remain still. Did you write the number 1?
No.
Did you write the number 3?
No.
Did you write the number 5?
No.
This portion of the test is complete. Please remain still while I take the instrument out of operation. You can relax. It's field.
This is the last time the polygrapher will have any correspondence with Chris before the real test begins. She gives him an initial compliment in a reassuring tone.
You did great.
That was.
Remember to lie and everything. That was awesome.
That was.
This momentary boost in his confidence is then abruptly ripped away as he receives the following information.
So you obviously are a really bad liar. Have people told you that before? Like the second you tell a lie, like they can tell like on your face that. Because the second you lied to the number 3, like I don't know if you heard me clicking, but I like turned down the sensitivity because you were starting to go off the page. So that is what I need to see as a polygrapher, because that tells me that you know it's wrong to tell a lie. You're actually having a significant reaction when you lie, so that is awesome. So thank you for being a
Well,
horrible
chicken,
liar.
I think
No,
that
that's
you
a
would
good
suck
thing.
them
That's a
back.
good thing. We don't want to be good liars, so thank you for being a horrible liar. And that just shows me that, you know, obviously on the test when they're asking, you know, significant stuff about your wife, if you're lying to that, it's going to be even 10 times more amplified. So I appreciate that. I appreciate that very much, more than you know. So that was awesome. And the coolest thing about this is right now, there's only one person in this room that knows what the truth is. And in about 5 minutes, there's going to be 2 of us. So that's the coolest part, okay? And then I can go share that with them out there, okay?
Okay.
All right, you ready?
Let's do it.
The test is about to begin. Please remain still.
Oh my god. Woo!
Do you understand I will only ask you the questions we have discussed?
Yes.
Regarding Shanann's disappearance, do you intend to answer all of the questions truthfully?
Yes.
Is your first name Christopher?
Yes.
Before 2018, did you ever lose your temper with someone you cared about?
No.
Did you physically cause Shanann's disappearance?
No.
Were you born in 1985?
Yes.
Before 2018, did you ever say anything out of anger to a loved one?
No.
Are you lying about the last time you saw Shanann?
No.
Are you now in the state of Colorado?
Yes.
Before 2018, have you ever wanted to hurt someone to get even with them?
No.
Do you know where Shanann is now?
No.
This portion of the test is complete. Please remain still while I take the instrument out of operation. All right, how'd you feel? Same with all of it?
I think it was the same through everything.
For ya.
Unintelligible. How do you not feel like sick? Ugh. How can you watch like wait, I want to pause. There was this like, oh, it's almost done actually. I'll tell you later.
So I brought Graham in here because we want to talk to you about the results, okay?
Sure.
So, it is completely clear that you were not honest during the testing. Like, you already know that. You did not pass the polygraph test.
Okay.
Okay. So now we need to talk about what actually happened. I feel like you're probably ready to do that.
I didn't lie to you on that polygraph, I promise.
Chris,
I'm
no, stop. It's time. Just stop for a minute. Take a deep breath. I want you to take a deep breath right now.
My heart is like pounding for him. Fuck. Okay, I'll watch the third one. But before I start it, I wanted to tell what I was gonna say. Yeah, fuck chat. I told you guys. Okay, anyways, I was saying it's so weird that he can rewatch his kids because, like, one, he murdered them, and two, it's really creepy watching like people who like were alive. So like, I watched this one girl talking about like the disappearance of some like, I think her last name is Shark or something. She's like an influencer and she like disappeared. But and then like when you rewatch or even see pictures of them or like their TikTok, it's like kind of eerie feeling. It's like, oh, like this is really like weird to see. Yeah, Shark Girl, no, I forget what her name was, but she's like an influencer and her body was found like in concrete or something. I don't know. But anyways, I was just thinking that like, how can you watch that? Weird. Yeah, Alexis. Yeah. Is her last name Shark? Anyways.
Chris,
Let's do this.
Stop. It's time. Just stop for a minute. Take a deep breath. I want you to take a deep breath right now.
There's a reason you feel sick to your stomach. And when people hold stuff inside, it makes you physically ill. And I can just tell on your face, I could tell from the second you walked in that you were wanting to just come clean and just be done with this.
This is a technique known as social exchange, an interpersonal persuasion strategy in which the interrogator provides the suspect with a psychological reward in return for the information they need. In this case, she's trying to convince Chris that the alleviation of mental weight is a worthy trade for a confession. She does this in a manner that protects his self-esteem by giving him appreciative reinforcements.
And I appreciate that because you knew sitting down in that chair that you weren't going to pass today, and you knew I was going to find out because I told you that, and then you continued to stay knowing that you could, at the end, say, you know what? I just need to get this off my chest.
Everything that I told you, I did not lie on this polygraph. I don't know how much I could tell you right now. Like, I did not.
It's not even an option right now because you did not pass the polygraph, so I know you were being deceptive. So that's not even an issue right now. The issue right now is what happened to Shanann, Bella, and Celeste.
The following tactic is called the futility technique, a building block to induce a sense in a suspect that any resistance on behalf of their cause is futile due to the overwhelming evidence against them. This was obviously not the case, as polygraphs are not admissible evidence, and Chris was in fact still free to leave at this point.
That's the issue right now.
Okay.
Okay, so let's talk about that.
You got
I know you want to tell us. I can see it in your face. Holding this lie in is going to do nothing for you.
I know this. Like, I'm not like trying to like cover things up. Like,
yeah, but you kind of are because it's normal.
This is no longer an interview to collect information. The steps of asking questions and receiving answers is over, and the interrogators are now in the process of leading the suspect into a state of mental exhaustion. The detectives will attentively watch for denials and stop them before they can be voiced. Letting the suspect deny his guilt will only increase his confidence and prolong his cerebral stamina.
Normal people would do that. Normal people that make a mistake initially are going to go, I don't know what you're talking about, I didn't do anything. That's normal. I would expect that. That's a natural reaction that someone's going to initially lie about something like that and then eventually tell the truth. So this is your eventually telling the truth time. This is where the rubber meets the road, Chris. Like, don't let this continue any longer, please.
I'm not trying to make anything continue. Like, I want them back home. Like,
But you know they're not coming back home. You know that.
I don't know in the back of my head. I hope they come back home.
But you know they're not.
Chris, Tammy and I are confused. Okay? And here's what we're confused about. I told you that we've done some work overnight. I told you that we've got a lot of leads. Okay, that wasn't a lie. We know a lot more than you think we do. Okay.
The dossier technique is a variant of the futility technique, the only difference being that the detectives are far more cryptic and often deceptive about the evidence they have. This will hint at things in a vague manner for the purpose of escalating a suspect's uncertainty.
Where are they?
I don't know where they're at. Honestly, I do not know where they're at. If I could have my babies back home right now, I would. I want them back. I want everybody back. That is the God's honest truth.
Although the detectives want to intensify Chris's psychological stress levels, they do not want him to become reactively agitated, as this could lead him to objecting and resisting every step of the way, and the interrogation will never get off the ground. It also significantly increases the chances of him requesting legal counsel and ending the interrogation outright. This elicits the interrogator to change approach and utilize what is known as the ego-up technique, where the detective will build on the self-respect of the suspect through positive reinforcement.
It is very surprising to me, and it warms my heart that you're the type of dad who can pack a bag in the morning. And you know just what to put in there. You know just what to put in there as a backup in case they have an accident. Okay? You know what the clothes to put in there. You know what they have for breakfast. You know what they have for a snack and a dinner and a nighttime snack. You can tell me the book you read to your daughters. Okay? I know you love them. But you are here today lying about something else. So we need to talk about that, okay? About your daughter. I know.
Oh.
And this is very good.
I saw her, took my breath away, and I never thought in a million years that could happen.
I know.
I never felt that way
You
about
cheated
anybody.
on her
anybody
and
about
told her?
I'm not proud of it. She
Fuck
accused me of
you,
it. I denied it.
Chris.
I cheated on her, and I
What?
felt horrible for it. Like, she was pregnant, and it was, I don't want to, I didn't hurt her.
You're doing a good job. This is the Chris that I knew would come out today. This is the Chris who tells the truth because you're a truth teller. I don't think this girl did anything to hurt anybody. When you leave her out of it,
Okay.
get back to your wife and your daughters.
Okay.
Where are they?
That I do not know. That was what I was holding back. Like, I didn't know, like, what I did. I know.
Chris, in the interview today, you weren't asked about infidelity. You were asked about...
I was holding back from last night.
That's
when
why
you
you failed today.
That's not how that works.
Here's the challenge that we have. We knew about Nikki, and so we didn't need to ask you about her in the polygraph. We just didn't need to, because we knew, okay? And so that's why we didn't ask you, because we already knew the answer, okay? We're very, very worried about your daughters and your wife. I am too. This should have been the happiest time of your marriage. Okay? Even Shanann. This should have been the happiest time. She's making a little money. She's making good money. You're making great money. You both have a job. You have beautiful kids. You have a beautiful house. You're in Colorado. Clean air, good people. Okay? And on top of that, you look pretty good now. You're pretty fit. Okay? This should have been a time in your marriage where you guys were happy and thriving and productive. Okay? And I believe that Shanann's the reason none of that happened.
This is called the how and why solution, a technique that allows the suspect to admit a lesser act and blame the victims, while at the same time minimizing the crime and motivations of his actions.
I believe that she's a controlling person. Maybe doesn't listen to you as much as she should. I think that she can do whatever she wants and you can't. Okay? I think if you were to go to a restaurant,
I
she
know
would order whatever the hell she
subtitles.
wants. And as soon as you order a nice steak, she says, whoa, buddy. That's because you're a good person. And I think that she started on the path to leave the marriage. Okay? It's ironic that we're talking about you and Nikki. I think that she was the one who started on that path first. What do you think about that?
I wouldn't have thought about
Okay. The other thing I think is interesting is, even though she is that type of person that's controlling, doesn't listen, does what she wants, is walking away from her kids, here you are defending her. Because to your core, you want to take care of the people you love. Okay. And that's the reason why we want to give you an opportunity today to just help us find them. Okay. Chris, right now your dad's outside. He flew across the country to help you. Okay. You're lying to him. You're lied to everyone you talk to. And they all bought it. Will you please help us find your babies?
I want to find them. I've told you over and over, I want to find everyone.
Can you understand that some of this just doesn't make sense to us? How is it possible that a woman and 2 kids are just completely gone off the face of the earth?
I promise you, I have nothing on my hands I did nothing to those kids or her.
to make them vanish.
As the interrogation goes on, the constant and relentless psychological pressure essentially puts Chris at the edge of his ability to function cognitively. It's a slow and methodical process of breaking down his resistance while maintaining a balance of pugnacious and reassuring psychological techniques.
I just find it hard to hear you talk about just having this emotional, conversation with Shanann, and you're bawling and crying together, and you have not shed one tear in 2 days that you've been here. Not one. And help me understand that, because I don't get it. These are your baby girls, and you have not shed one tear over them not being around. Chris, I lose my 4-year-old in the store for 10 seconds, and I start to go panic. Panic. I have not seen any of that from you at all.
Yep.
Help me understand that.
I love those girls. I would never do anything just because I haven't shed a tear.
No, that's weird. Is that weird?
Don't
Okay,
look into that like I don't love my kids, I love my wife.
You're crying with your wife that you're leaving her.
Yeah.
But you don't cry that your 2 little baby girls.
I'm hoping they're still around somewhere. I'm hoping they're still somewhere.
In the next moments, you will see step 7 of the Reed interrogation
You can't
technique
just
known as the
fucking
alternative
start
question, where
crying
the
after
suspect is given
that.
an alternative and far more morally acceptable choice for what happened.
Chris, did Shanann do something to them?
No, I don't know.
I'm serious.
I have no clue.
No, you would have known, 'cause they didn't leave the house. Did Shanann do something to them, and then did you feel like you had to do something to Shanann?
I'm gonna do this because I want to give
They were at the house when I left.
him credit.
They were there.
They weren't there. They didn't leave. They vanished.
They were
The
there.
only way they could have left is in your truck.
Did Shanann do something?
Something happened in the house that you know about. We know that something happened to all 3 of them. But I want to know, did something happen to these baby girls first that you had to take into your own hands and deal with?
You had to clean it up for Shanann.
Chris, you gotta tell us. There's something that happened to these baby girls. Look at them.
I know. Before he came in, I was watching videos.
We have no doubt you love these girls with all of your heart. I have no doubt. But we make mistakes.
And that's okay.
It's what we do with those mistakes that make us who we are.
Chris, it seems like you're thinking about it right now. What are you thinking about? Just kidnap.
I feel like you cleaned up for her.
bitch.
Adenari, thank you
I
for
feel like that's the type of guy you
subscribing.
are.
No ads for you. Thank you.
Chris, this is a weight that's going to be on you for the rest of your life until we resolve it tonight.
Appreciate the support.
Unless we can talk about this more tonight, it's going to follow you forever. I promise you, when you start talking to us, you will feel better.
Chris, we're giving you a lifeline right now. You need to take it. You need to reach out and take it.
Oh, suck my dick, bitch.
Took him out of the house with
Jamie
her.
Ash, thanks for the prime. Welcome. Thank you so much.
Oh,
Just
suck
really-
my dick, bitch.
God. Humble Phil, thanks for the prime.
You
Welcome.
either cleaned up after Shanann or you made the mistake, and
Thanks,
I
guys.
want to believe that maybe Shanann did it and you felt compelled to
Oh, suck
fix
my
it so
dick,
Shanann
bitch.
isn't bad. That's what I want to believe.
X Demon 100, thank you for the 2 months. S Dak 12, thank you for the 2 months. Nokoberg, thank you for the prime. Thanks, guys. You guys are so funny.
That was great. You're crazy.
Suck my dick, bitch.
Lot 7, thank you for the prime. Soul Intent, thanks for the prime.
Oh, suck
Obi,
my dick, bitch.
Obi Slice 24, thanks for the prime.
Oh,
Thanks,
suck my dick, bitch.
guys.
Would you please tell me what happened?
Ecry 28, thank you for the 100 bits. Thank you. Thanks, guys.
He will not stop loving you.
Oh, suck my dick,
And this is
bitch.
not the last chapter in anyone's story.
Jazzy BXD, thank you for the sub. A giant nugget, thanks for gifting 5 subs. Thank you. Scrapper, thanks for gifting the sub. You guys are so sweet. Thank you. Well, that guy's hair is so like white or blonde, or I don't know.
It's too much emotions. It's anything else you want to tell me? What's going on?
Rewind? Oh shit. Okay. Dad, other Josh, thank you for the 20 months. Welcome back. Thank you.
Stop loving you no matter what you tell him. You are his child, and he will not stop loving you.
There.
Ever.
And this is not the last chapter in anyone's story. At all.
Oh, suck my dick, bitch.
Hey, Chris, we're going to let you have however much time you need, okay?
Sure. You can leave us in here?
Yes.
Sure. Tell us how long you or
And it's polygraph.
Thank you, Gloomy Bella.
It's too much emotions. Anything else you want to tell me? What's going on? What happened? Or anything? You don't think about. When we had that conversation that morning, it was emotional and told her about separation and everything like that. What happened after that? I come downstairs. I want to protect her. What?
Oh, suck my dick, bitch.
You don't want to protect her. I don't know what else to say. Well, no.
Pareidolia?
Suck my
Wait.
dick, bitch.
Oh, he wrote, I killed her. Pareidolia, hearing what he wants to hear. Oh, I see. Let me thank some subs. Rio Crow, thank you for gifting a sub. Thank you. It's Cusco, thank you for the sub. Kozaki 77, thank you for the 2 months. Chonker, thank you for the tier 3 sub and the 2 months. Welcome back, Lubricate. Thank you for gifting a sub. Thank you, guys. She smothered them.
I didn't hear anything. When I was upstairs, came back up. They were gone. Talking about separation and everything about and she lost. I don't know like what else to say, but I freaked out. Those are my kids. I heard like a little commotion upstairs, but I didn't think anything of it. And then we went back upstairs and she was there. I could see like she was on top. I'm choking her for that. Did she kill him? They're blue. Yeah, she choked both of them with that. I freaked out and she hit me.
You freaked out and did the same thing to your wife. Holy! Irene Boo, thank you so much for gifting 50 subs. That's a lot of subs. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Irene Boo. If you're one of the lucky 50 people, please thank Irene Boo for the sub. Holy moly. BNC Spike, thank you for the 100 bits. Spike GL, thank you for the 7 months. Welcome back. Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh my god. That was... my hair. Kids, he killed the kids too though, right? We'll see.
Okay.
Less than 10 seconds after the mention of the word lawyer, the detectives re-enter the room and immediately reinforce Chris with non-verbal empathic communication. They immediately divert Chris's attention from the well-informed advice of his father to their own appreciative reception of his contemporary admittance.
Can you tell us what you told your dad?
She was in there with her. On top of her. Freaked out. I ran in there and got on top of her.
What'd you do?
She was blue. I was my babies. I don't know what I did.
What happened?
Something hurt.
Did you explain?
Although not the full avowal they were pursuing, Chris has still confessed partly to the crimes, and they now have one foot in the door. He is no longer
Partly,
free
so
to
he
leave.
did
The
kill it,
interrogation now
Mama.
returns to a non-suggestive process,
Disgusting!
where the detectives will collect further information, where they will not contaminate with excessive or direct input.
Oh my god. Oh! We will continue with no more pauses.
I have no idea what's going on. I'm shaking. Both my kids are blue and they're gone. So horrible for what I did. I don't know what to do.
It's the hard part. We have left details for that.
You have to get medical. At that first location I went to that day. I don't know what to do.
I know.
I didn't know what to fucking do. Like, none of this made sense. Why would she hit my fucking girls? I'm sorry.
You hurt them.
I know you came in today to do the right thing. Where'd you put them? Take them out there.
In the truck.
Did Shanann fight back at all? You did that?
The rage that I had after seeing that,
He's already deaded.
I didn't know what else to do.
I know, I'm over here. I know.
I didn't know what else to do. I was so scared.
I know.
It's like, no, I just did this, I just did that. What do I do?
Right.
You were in a tough spot. I was like, what can you do, right?
I think your body just kind of takes over and...
What's going to happen? We're going to help them get out of there. Chris, I know they're gone, but they're still your babies. And you're still their dad.
And you don't want them out there.
I don't want them out there.
And you don't want someone else to find them out there. You don't, I promise you. You give us a second so we can kind of get some things arranged. Can you do that?
What the fuck is this?
Yeah, you are. Oh my god, to be a dad of this kid,
I said she was not a single person, but I never thought it would be like that could happen. Why does that happen?
his mom said that about his wife. What a mean mom thing to say. His mom sounds...
No, not tonight.
Chris's mom hated Shannon. Moms who hate
Whereabouts?
the girls. It's Cusco. Thank you for gifting 10 subs to Mass. Thank you for the 2 months. Empty Head. Thank you for the tier 3 sub in the 41 months. Welcome back. X's TC. Thank you for the 36 months. Thank you again.
So it sounds like, I mean, it feels like to me, now we know pretty well how to go get him. Is there anything else we need to know?
Ugh.
Do you think it's not Chris?
Yeah, he was cheating on the wife, dude. It like makes me so mad that his mom was like mean to his wife when it was like the son who was a piece of shit the whole time. Whack.
Can I ask you another tough question? You just get it all on the table. When you see Shanann choking, strangling Celeste, and you get her off of Celeste, do you think about calling an ambulance?
I see you laying there blue and limp. And I've never seen something like that in my life.
Yeah, you never
like,
killed in
way
your
over,
life.
like nothing was moving at all. No gasp of breath.
So,
Just totally just blue.
After the baseline information of Chris's version of events is gathered, he is now locked into an alibi and timeline of affairs that forensics will subsequently examine and dissect in ways so they can use it against him. The tone of the interrogation then reverts back from information gathering to a confrontational nature.
so Chris, doing this job for a long time.
I know.
I know a lot about psychology and as far as like what people are thinking. Most parents will never even want to fathom that their kid is dead. Even if their kid's stiff, blue in bed, I mean stiff like been dead all night, they still call an ambulance to see if someone can revive their child. And when the ambulance gets there and they're like, gosh, their kid's been dead all night, like there's nothing we can do. And the parents are like, why are you not doing something? What are you talking about? So that's what we're used to. So that's why I want you to explain to me like what was going on in your head and
The rage I felt for what she did. That just took over.
I would hate for Shanann to get a bad rap if she didn't have anything to do with it. You know, it's not fair. It's not fair.
There is no technical term for this approach, yet it's a clear attempt by the detective to interconnect to the suspect's sense of morality, which is always under the assumption that they have any.
Like enough bad stuff has happened. Like we need to stop the bad stuff from happening. So that's the truth.
That is true.
So you're good with the public knowing that Shanann killed her daughters?
I did not hurt these girls.
Are you okay with the public knowing that Shanann?
Yes, because I did not hurt these girls. Chris, I'm not sure I do.
Are you sure Shanann didn't touch you?
No, my God, no. Don't get mad. But what it looks like is that you found a new
They
life.
know.
And the only way to get that new life was to get rid of the old life. And I think that you killed these girls before their mom came home and then killed them now. And that's what we're kind of left, that's what we have to believe.
Good, he
It
pleaded
just doesn't make sense.
guilty.
I mean, to her point, if I walked in and my kid was decapitated, I'd call an ambulance, right? So
Knowing there's no hope.
it just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't add up. So either you're this monster who says, I just want this young, hot girlfriend, so I'm going to kill everyone and hope it works out, or something. So I think we're very, very close to the truth, but not quite there yet. So if you're not that monster,
I'm not a monster.
so what's going to happen when their cause of death comes back to you? For the girls?
It's not going to.
Okay. You sure?
I'm 100% positive it's not going to come back to me.
And what happens when a coroner looks and says, sees your fingerprints on their neck?
It's not going to be my fingerprints.
Okay. What is it going to be?
It's going to be shenanigans.
Why take their bodies out of the house and bury them?
I was scared. I didn't know what else to do.
Okay.
Nothing was gonna. I didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
I honestly didn't know what to do.
Scared of what?
Scared of what everything was gonna look like. My 2 babies were gone,
Mm-hmm.
and I just did that to my wife. And I was the only one left in the house. What do you expect to happen?
Yeah. It did look bad, right?
And it looked, I mean, this was a nightmare.
Yeah. Okay. Yesterday when you were talking, and again, this is before we kind of got to this moment today, you mentioned that we were talking, you said, I don't know where they are, I don't know where they are, and then you said something along the lines of, whatever happened to them just acted pure evil. What does that mean?
Is this the evil that I saw when I walked behind Shanann and she was on top of CC? And I felt evil before I did Shanann.
Okay. So after we look at their bodies, we're going to have a lot more questions. Things are going to be different then, but if you're willing, we'd love to talk to you then too. Now that we know what we know, we're going to, I need to check that you don't have any weapons on you or anything like that. Do you have any weapons on you? Okay. We'll do that. We'll go to the bathroom. I'm not going to go in the stall with you, but I'm going to go with you. And then we'll come right back here and we'll make a decision about how the rest of the night goes. All right, so you might stand it outside and check.
Chicken, he has thing for the 2 years. So, do you know how to commit the perfect crime yet? I never want to
This
know.
interrogation was a true
That's
testimony
summer
of
and
how
thing with a
mental
1 year.
fatigue can
Happy 1
restructure
year.
an individual's cognitive rationale. Chris maintained his innocence even after the failed polygraph, and if he
It's
had kept
Cusco.
that
Thanks for
stance, he
giving
would have
10
walked out of
subs.
that
Thank
police
you so
department as a
much.
free man for at least another night. Yet, after a prolonged state of isolation, anxiety, and fear, coupled with the cerebral influencing tactics of the interrogators, the alleviation of getting out of that situation was in that moment perceived as enough of a luxury to exchange his freedom for it.
Chris, son, stand up for me. I'm going to have you face that wall. Lift up your hands.
I don't know why I thought I was gonna see more. Wow.